on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of CryptoZombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. Bitcoin chillin', Ethereum is pumping, and the big question on everyone's mind is what is going on right now with Bitcoin? Should you be looking towards Ethereum? Is it time to go all in on ETH? Because in yesterday's tweet over on my Twitter, I asked, do you think it's possible for the Ethereum market cap to actually surpass or flip Bitcoin? And I was actually shocked by how close this race was. 45 minutes left at the time of making this video, but it is very clear. You can see right here, about 47% think that Ethereum will flip Bitcoin or could flip Bitcoin, and 45% think that that's not possible, with the remaining 7.5% thinking that it won't be Bitcoin or Ethereum at the top place. It'll be some other altcoin. Now, please do feel free to drop your comments below in today's video, because I am going to be focusing specifically on what is happening right now in the space. We are seeing institutions getting very interested in Ethereum, lots of DeFi being built, potential Ethereum ETF, right, in the works. We don't even have a Bitcoin ETF yet. So should you just ditch the old Bitcoin and should we go into Ethereum? How should we take this scenario? Well, I do want to go over some very specific points. I'm going to let you know, based on the data, what is happening right now with Bitcoin, why Bitcoin can't seem to break the $60,000 level. Is Ethereum going to continue to pump, and will it outpace Bitcoin? Make sure that you watch today's video all the way to the very end. I have a very special chart that I want to show you guys, and hopefully this will help you to make an informed decision. And if that sounds good to you, you know what to do. If you're not subscribed, definitely consider it. And without further ado, let's dive into the charts. So right here, you'll notice that Bitcoin is just still not doing very much right here, hanging out at the top, right? We're having, it is a bullish monthly candle. In fact, I said that even though we had a red monthly candle last month, I still said that it was a bullish bearish candle. I've explained this multiple times. We needed a cool off. This was a lot of buying pressure. As soon as the price dipped, Bitcoin did start pumping. And, you know, full transparency, I am in a Bitcoin long right now, right? And I've explained to you guys how I'm looking to ladder in those positions if we do fall. Now, something interesting this morning was obviously we had no trading of the futures over the weekend, and we did have the Bitcoin price pump up to just below the CME futures gap. In fact, if I actually adjust this right here, you'll see that we came up all the way here to about $59,900, making this little area now here the gap. So do you think that technically that was enough? Did we actually close the gap? Because if that is the case, then does that mean we could be looking to retest these lower levels? Now, I've been telling you guys that this $52,000 to $50,000 level is like the ultimate fire sale zone for Bitcoin. If you see Bitcoin dip down to 52, 50,000, not financial advice, but you know what I'm doing. I am going in hard with those longs because this is a very good accumulation area. I also have some set down here at around 47 just in case. And once again, if you're new, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can make money by longing or shorting Bitcoin. This is a strategy that I use pretty frequently. In fact, this is how I accumulate most of my Bitcoin. And you can see right here, if you guys want, I do have a $1,680 bonus for Bybit, $280 on Femex, and 50% bonus back if you want to use Prime XBT. Extra $200 bonus in the description. Check the links below. And if you're interested, I do have a tutorial popping up above. But having a look right here, you will notice that there has been, and this was one of the greatest trade zones. I mean, I literally was just, every time we came down to this 53 level, I was just scalping. And right here, you'll see we didn't even actually touch this trend line right here. Bitcoin actually had a very strong bounce before we even got to it. So this is showing that we are having some buying coming in. Now, I believe what's been happening is that there has been somewhat of price suppression. I think that institutions know that this thing is gonna blow. It's coiling up like a tight spring, and we're getting ready for that movement. And I'll tell you what, the more boring it gets, the longer we've had this consolidation. I mean, we've been in this range, you know, since back here, since February. We've been essentially accumulating in these ranges, and this is just showing me that we are in a very strong uptrend. We have massive accumulation, and trust me, if it was the top, we would have dumped. In fact, Whale Maps has pointed out multiple areas where we've had huge whales, institutions, high net worth individuals. We don't really know who's buying, but we do know that there is a lot of buying at those levels. And we can see right here that, pretty much 52,000 is kind of the floor for Bitcoin right now, which, if we go back over here, where was I at? I'm losing my charts here. At the $53,000 level right here is, that's why it's been such a great level for that accumulation, right? Now, the one thing I do want to point out is that we are currently forming a bit of an ascending wedge. Now, textbook ascending wedges are technically bearish patterns. Now, it doesn't mean that price is going to dump, but the textbooks, okay, the traditional finance books would say that we're looking for a bit of a pullback after this move, right? So as you can see right here, looking at the other trends, when we had the falling wedge, we had a pump. We had the ascending channel, we had the dump. We had the descending channel, we had the pump. We had the second falling wedge, descending channel, depending how you draw it, we had the pump. But now we're forming a much larger consolidation right here. And this is more of a typical ascending wedge right here. So like I said, the textbook would say that we would have another test down here, which is why I have been putting in a lot of longs at around the $50,000 to $47,000 level. However, I'm already in a long right now, low enough leverage that I'm not going to get liquidated, which is something you need to pay attention to, because also textbook right now, we are in the bit of a diamond formation, which would also signal at a bit of a retest. Even if we just came down here and retested again, that would be right in that sweet spot between our $50,000 to $53,000 range, which I do think is an amazing range to accumulate Bitcoin. But my friends, Tom Brady has changed his picture to laser eyes. Is this a top signal? People are freaking out, right? When celebrities start getting on board, you got quarterbacks changing their pictures. Does this mean the top is in? Well, my friends, I've explained to you that this is not how markets top out. Markets do not consolidate for 3 months. Markets don't give you that much time to sell, okay? Let me just say that, okay? The time to sell at the blow-off top is going to happen so fast, your portfolio is going to be so crazy, you're going to be making so much money, and then you're going to wake up the next day and everything's going to be down 50%. You're going to be like, what happened? Then you know it's the top, right? So, no, I don't think that the laser eyes is the top. And according to on-chain analyst Willy Woo, he says that the current Bitcoin bull cycle is actually unique based on the unprecedented amount of coins moving from weak hands to strong hands. Bitcoin is being accumulated by long-term holders at a significantly higher rate than we have ever seen in any other previous bull market. You can see right here, this purple line tracks coins moving between weak and strong hands. Now, he says, based on this data, there is no way Bitcoin is entering a bear market. Bullish sentiment is something that may appear obvious now, but wasn't as obvious when Bitcoin was trading 2 weeks ago. One catalyst likely driving this metric, according to Willy Woo, is the amount of Bitcoin moving into corporate treasuries and Bitcoin trusts. Grayscale Investment Trust, now accounting for 3.5% of the supply, only allows for inflows of Bitcoin into cold storage. So Wu says that the amount of also leverage trading happening in crypto markets today means that fewer coins need to move in order for traders to open and close positions, which stands in contrast to the 2017 bull market where the infrastructure for Bitcoin trading was less developed, right? Leverage markets that grew in size from 2017 may have had a part to play. Lots of coins used. You had to move them in to actually, do the leverage, etc. Another factor is the fact that Bitcoin has proven itself as a store of value. You've even seen a lot of people from, the gold bugs even converting now into Bitcoin. But okay, this is great. Great news for Bitcoin. So why is Bitcoin dominance continuing to fall? Now, let me just say one thing super quick. This is not an opinion. This is a fact. The fact that we have had Bitcoin dominance plummet from 61% to 44%, yet Bitcoin, even though it has been sideways, boring consolidation, has still maintained that $56,000, $58,000 level is pretty impressive, considering it's constantly losing market share, and yet the price price remains the same. This shows that the volume is still there. The desire to own Bitcoin is still there, but there's a lot of excitement in the altcoins, whether it be Ethereum, Polkadot, Dogecoin, right? We've seen a lot of this excitement recently. In fact, talking about what is happening now, this is where we need to talk about Ethereum. Please, once again, comment below. Main topic of this video. I want to know, do you actually think that Ethereum could flip Bitcoin? Well, let's look a little bit more into this. Let's look at what the two coins are, what they do, and how they differentiate, right? Bitcoin is essentially a store of value, whereas Ethereum is a smart contract platform. Chances are, if you're doing a lot of crypto transactions right now, you're probably using your MetaMask, you're probably using Ethereum. You could be using BNB as well. But before we get into the technicals, what's actually been happening recently, according to CryptoQuant's CEO, he outlined a significant premium on Coinbase, which he believes is among the most probable reasons behind Ethereum's price surge. Institutional investors, especially those based in the US, typically do their crypto shopping on the largest local exchange. The emergence of high premiums on Coinbase compared to other exchanges indicates a strong spot buying pressure on the US trading venue. So from stablecoins running on top to its countless DeFi and NFT projects, the Ethereum network is arguably the most utilized in the entire cryptocurrency space. It is. Let's just say what it is, right? It is. I use Ethereum every day. I don't use Bitcoin every day. I hold my Bitcoin, right? And that's an argument. What do you do with Bitcoin? You put it in a wallet, you hold it. Right, because Bitcoin is digital gold, whereas Ethereum is more like an infrastructure. So despite the issues that it can cause on the blockchain, the high usage has caught the attention of various types of investors. Aside from institutions, retail has also come on board. In fact, right here, you can see Glassnode suggest that the number of non-zero wallets for Ethereum has grown to new all-time highs at nearly 60 million. The analytics company exemplified the current supply dynamics after categorizing it as a compelling story. Glassnode said that ETH on exchanges is just 12%, while the percentage of coins used in smart contracts is almost 23%. So let's look a little bit more into this. Bill Noble, right? He was the chief technical analyst at Token Metrics, had actually had some opinions on this. So while Bitcoin's sheer size as an asset will move because markets move with its weight, the market is now beginning to realize that Bitcoin and Ethereum are completely different assets. Now, this is something and this isn't to offend anybody, I just want to be realistic. When you talk about Dogecoin, right, or even Litecoin, and we talk about Bitcoin, those are really just coins. You can't really do anything with them. Now, I'm not going to get into the theory of building on top of Bitcoin, all this other stuff. Essentially, Bitcoin is a currency. It's a store of value. You send it, you receive it. It's basically what you do with Litecoin. It's pretty much what you do with Dogecoin, etc., right? There's not really much else you can do with it. With Ethereum, you have infrastructure, you have DeFi, you can build things, you have smart contracts. And something interesting to note is before the DeFi boom kicked off in mid-2020, Bitcoin and Ether moved roughly with a correlation of about 94%, meaning they were extremely correlated. They pretty much were the same. You could own some Bitcoin, you could own some Ether. They basically moved at about the same rate. Whereas recently, that number is closer to 60. Now, like I said, make sure you stick around. I want to show you a very interesting chart. Now, Ethereum, according to Bill Noble, is both a currency and a technology platform for developing other currencies and an entirely new banking system. That makes Ethereum a much better store of value than Bitcoin. Ether is like a currency and a tech stock all in one instrument. However, Bitcoin is just a currency, right? I think people are starting to recognize that Bitcoin and Ether are two different things. Now, Justin Chu, he's a trader with regulated digital assets firm Wave Financial. He says if anyone wants to use the Ethereum network, they need gas. And that is a great analogy for what Ether is. It's the lubricant to move the tokens. It's the currency used to incentivize validators and to execute a transaction. And as these companies begin to get on board, as institutions start to not even just invest in Ethereum, but start to use DeFi applications, you're gonna need gas, right? You need to own some ETH. You have to, or else you can't do anything on Ethereum. And this creates demand. So some argue that while Bitcoin, you just hold it, it's a store of value. With Ethereum, you actually literally need it if you want to do anything on the platform, right? So it's a necessity, right? You actually need to use gas. Now, according to data blockchain, now, by the way, just so you guys know, I'm not like becoming an ETH maxi. I love Bitcoin and Ethereum for their own things. I do own more Bitcoin than I do Ethereum, but I am obviously exposed to Ethereum for these exact reasons because, it could be, maybe, not going to be the guy. Could it flip Bitcoin? I don't personally think so, but it could. You never know. I'm not going to rule it out, but it says, with its lower market cap but programmable utility, it has already surpassed Bitcoin in terms of transaction volume, transaction count, and total transaction fees. And they call this the flippening, a measure of the progress Ethereum making at overtaking Bitcoin. Right now, blockchain says that it's about 38. Blockchain Center says it's about 38.5% of the way there. So let's summarize this and then let's look at a chart. So as the transition to ETH 2.0 comes closer, what is going to happen to Ether? Will it continue to diverge from Bitcoin or will it level off? So in a late 2020 report on the topic, we had digital assets research firm Messari predicting that the emergence of what is called the asset superclass triangle with the introduction of ETH 2.0 potentially causing it to move on the value of its own fundamentals, programmability, etc. Instead, this will allow it to surpass the moving with Bitcoin together. It won't be dragged by just Bitcoin. It'll be propelled by its own fundamentals the same way that Bitcoin is essentially. My battery's about to die. I did not charge my camera, so I got to speed this up. So ETH 2.0 will prove an unprecedented combination of attributes from each of these three asset superclasses. They say Bitcoin is like your first car. You're really excited when you first get it, but you're even more excited when you get rid of it for something cooler. Ethereum's market will exceed the market cap of Bitcoin. The future of corporate finance and Wall Street is going to run on Ethereum. So having a look right here, super quick, guys, I just want to point out the Ethereum to Bitcoin dominance. Now, while a lot of people have been saying that Ethereum has been outperforming Bitcoin, while this may be true in the short term, just realize that throughout the bear market cycles, Ethereum tends to lose more than Bitcoin. And you can see right here, we're not even close to where we were at the peak here, where we got up to 0.15 or even had an average of about 0.11. We're still down to just 0.07. So Ethereum still has, from where it is right now, about another 110% increase that it would need to keep up with the Bitcoin value, because this is not based on dollars, this is based on Bitcoin. So this chart suggests that actually buying and holding Bitcoin over the years would have been more profitable unless you knew exactly when to buy and sell your Ethereum, which, let's be honest, most people are not that good at timing the markets, right? But Mark Yusko over here, he does think that you could potentially build on top of Bitcoin, and he takes a bit of a different stance on it. So I do want to also just play this video for you super quick. Let me know what you guys think.
Well, look, it's just about network adoption and increased usage, and that's a longer term view. I think there are some out there that think that could happen this year. I'm probably more in the 4 to 5 year time horizon for that price. But this is a network, and networks grow in an exponential way. This is the fastest network in history to $1 trillion of value, right on the heels of the FANGs that took 15 to 20 years, depending on which one you look at. And I think what people miss is this is a technological evolution of computing power that isn't going away. It's not a trading sardine. It is a powerful computing network that is going to become the base layer protocol for the Internet of Value.
But there are other cryptocurrency solutions, and that's become a bigger debate here in 2021, Mark. It's not just Bitcoin, it's Ethereum, and you could even say Dogecoin, among others. So why Bitcoin and not the others? Tell me why.
Don't say Doge. Doge is a joke.
What about Ethereum then?
The issue is, like the internet has a series of protocols. There's TCP/IP, which you and I are using right now to communicate. There's SMTP for email, HTTP for websites, and then www that ties it all together. Bitcoin is a base layer protocol, probably the base layer protocol like TCP/IP, and Ethereum is like the www. It's a toolkit for building applications that will eventually run on those base layer protocols. So yes, there's room for a couple of protocols to survive, but there are thousands of coins, and Doge is in that category, that really are useless. They're just utility tokens that have no underlying value or use case, and they'll eventually disappear.
So that's obviously Mark's opinion on it, but ending on the big news, this goes for all crypto, whether you're a fan of Bitcoin or Ethereum. The Swiss multinational investment bank UBS Group AG is reportedly in works of launching several cryptocurrency services. Based in Zurich, they have over $1 trillion in assets under management, and they are looking into several alternatives for its crypto-related services. One of the discussed options suggested that the institutional customers will be able to receive crypto exposure through third-party vehicles. Now, keep in mind, they're not the first to do this. We've seen Bank of New York Mellon, Morgan Stanley, etc. But if you can't beat them, join them. And on that note, my battery is about to die, so I got to wrap up this video. You guys rock. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. Let me know what you guys think about the Ethereum Bitcoin debate. What are you doing? Are you going all in? Are you splitting it half and half? Is Bitcoin a dinosaur? Is Ethereum the future? Drop your comments below. And also, if you have not seen these tutorials on how you can trade Bitcoin and Ethereum using leverage, check them out right now. And that's it for me. My name's K-Dub. This is CryptoZombie. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.